Thank you very much, Professor Atkins. I think you gave us a wonderful introduction that we're getting ready for the recitation. So I'd like to introduce Ms. Kima Hotta. So Ms. Hotta is an accomplished dramatic reciter of Japanese literary text and a leader of Rodoku Network Japan. She has a successful career as a DJ and program host, as well as an interviewer at a radio station. Since 2003, Ms. Hotta has devoted her efforts to the preservation of the beauty of the Japanese language through dramatic recitation of classic and modern Japanese literary works. She has performed throughout Japan and California, but this is her debut appearance in Seattle. So photographs are okay, but without flash, please. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Kima Hotta.